Good morning. The day after we were affected by the hurricane, it rained periodically throughout the day. Nothing crazy. Our fellow Floridians to the north are suffering. Some big old van just parked next to me at Dunkin' Donuts and taken up like 3 parking spaces. Crazy. So crazy. You wake up after the hurricane hit to a whole new reality. See what the radio saying. I think out of everything that a hurricane brings, when you the wind, right? And when you're on the coast, you can't do nothing about the water. I don't know what they're gonna do. I know they were staging search and rescue personnel around. I'm sure they're heading there now. I don't understand. I personally don't understand the mentality of not evacuating. If you're in an area that they have 200 homes, mobile homes, whatever, and everyone evacuates, but two families, I don't understand that. You're basically saying I want to die. I don't know. I understand you want to. Some people can't get themselves to leave their property, but you're basically putting yourself in a zero sum. Seen a lot of video this morning. A lot of houses flooded. Some places up to 8 feet underwater. I don't know what everyone's seeing nationally, but on the local news, people 8 feet underwater. Your house is ruined. In some of those areas up there, that's almost those areas. It's a rural area. The homes aren't, I'm not saying all of them, but a lot of the homes out there in the countryside are not of the best construction. I think they were saying that area was hit in 2018. In 2018, it was hit by Hurricane Michael. So a lot of the newer buildings have had the newer construction. Hello. Our area, we had a lot of wind. all day. It was steady all day. Then we had a gust of wind. School was closed, but then school's open. School's open today. So we'll see. Hopefully, as the day goes on, more video will emerge. Where's everyone from? On my way to my buddy. You guys know I got a friend who's like 36 years old and doesn't drive. And this morning he texted me if I could give him a ride. So they're saying a lot of the community areas are closed. Authorities won't let anyone in. Between water, down power lines, and down trees, they're not letting anybody in. So that's a problem. And one of the main roads, I-10, they're saying is closed. That's one of the main roads that goes across the top of Florida. I-10, I think, goes from Jacksonville on the East Coast. It goes right through Tallahassee, and you can get on I-10 and it'll take you straight to California. But it's typical what they do. They go in, assess damage before they start letting people back in. And what's crazy is you'll see the people that evacuated, they'll line up for miles on a road somewhere. So don't just stay put where you're at until we give you the all clear. They'll line up and then they'll start raising hell with whoever's standing guard. You know, I get it. People want to see what condition their house is in. But that sucker hit last night at what, midnight? 11 o'clock at night, midnight? That's terrible. I was watching some live stream cameras on how the beach area, everyone was walking on the beach and everything was great in certain parts of Florida, West Coast. And then next thing you know, within like an hour, the whole area had flooded and people had to leave the beach in a hurry. But today's kind of a light day. I got a few things I got to do. Nothing crazy. I got a couple patients I got to see. Minimize the screen. Hopefully I won't lose you. Hold on. I had to text him that I was here. gotta go to the store this morning. Gotta get some AA batteries. University of Miami playing football today. That's good.
Morning, buddy.
What's going on?
How are you?
Good. Yeah, I responded to you yesterday, but I don't think you got my text when you said that you bought a book.
I didn't get it.
Yeah, but I looked later. It was in gray and it had like a little flag.
Yeah.
So it didn't go through. What type of book did you buy?
The Power of the Sub. I've been trying. Right?
Yeah.
So I've been trying for like the last 2 years. And I was saying, you should check this book out. And I think it's. I think it has to do with training your mind to be positive. So I was like, all right, I'm all for it. And I saw it online. It was like $5.50. I'm like, okay, $5.50.
Yeah, I figured that.
$5.40 or whatever. So I was like, okay, I'll check it out. If I don't like it, I can just throw it away. There's no loss for $5.
Those are books that I buy, and my wife tells me it's a bunch of, what are you doing buying something?
Yeah.
Nonsense. Not nonsense, but what do you?
Self-help. I was thinking, I need to go to the bank, but I was thinking if you wanted, we could do some lunch.
I don't think there should be a problem unless I don't see my people today, and then I gotta go tomorrow. But
Yeah.
it shouldn't be a problem. I'll call you and let you know. I mean, obviously the bank is no problem.
Yeah. Probably not Allie's because I go in the morning. It'd be weird to go there twice. No, it's just the thing that we do. And Dad
Yeah, I know you
and I
guys.
go in the morning.
It's
Boy
good.
goes to poker every Saturday. They know it's.
Where does he go play poker at? I forgot.
I don't know. He alternates, but he has a spot that he's doing right now that he does.
Yeah. He said he's good at poker, right?
I think he's above average. He lost last year. He lost a lot last week. He's kind of wild with it though. He's like aggressive. I'm like, he lost a lot of money. It's like, well, what's the plan this week? He lost a lot of money. I said, are you gonna? I don't know shit. I don't know dick about poker, but I know that you can play aggressively or conservatively.
Good morning. Yeah.
So it's like, well, maybe I'll just start off conservatively, but he likes to go all in and he likes to bet big, and so
That's a strategy.
Yeah.
There's a strategy, and this guy by the name of Stu Unger.
Okay.
He was considered one of the best poker players ever.
I'm
But
sure that knows him.
He was ultra. He's passed away, but he was ultra aggressive,
Yeah.
and it put a lot of when you're aggressive, considered a loose cannon.
Yeah.
It puts a lot of pressure on the other people
Does it?
that they know.
Yeah.
They feel like I better have the goods if I'm going to call
Yeah.
his bet,
Yeah.
or they'll fold. But it's one of those strategies where you can either win big or you can lose big.
Yeah.
Sometimes there's no in between.
Well, he's all or nothing. He's an addict. So.
I used to play a lot of poker,
He's-
tournaments and everything.
I think I told you. He's 30 years playing.
Yeah.
So everything he does is all or nothing.
Yeah.
It's like his personality. He sits there and watches MSNBC for 12 hours. He overeats sometimes. He overwalks sometimes. When he does something, he does it to the full extent. He's committed to it. It's like just his personality.
Oh yeah.
Oh, which is fine. That's the way he is. But I worry about him because he'll eat all night and then he'll say, son, don't bother me. My stomach's hurting me. I'm like,
Did you say that he smokes too, right?
yeah. And I'm like, well, maybe don't eat as much, so tell me your stomach's bothering me, with a joke to him. But I say, hey, you're kind of doing it to yourself. You got to think about your health there, Dad. Not necessarily, gaining weight or whatever, but if you're getting sick because you're eating too much, it's not a good thing. He kind of shook his head at me. Yeah, you're right.
No, I told you, the guy I worked for was a recovering addict.
Yeah.
NA.
Yeah.
And
Him too.
and everyone who came to visit him,
Yeah.
his friends that would stop by just to say hello or something,
Yeah.
they were all former addicts.
Yeah, it's like a big community.
And they all smoked like chimneys.
Yeah.
They were all like They were all like
Yeah.
chain smokers.
He smokes cigars like chimneys. That's how I used to smoke cigars, like a chimney too. I'd smoke them like a cigarette. I have like 4 or 5 a day. But I quit. This New Year's Eve will be 3 years.
Wow.
Yeah. I think I started smoking. Was I smoking when I met you?
I think you were.
Yeah.
I don't know. I remember I used to take you the first time I met you. I used to take you to the Shell station. I used to go in to get an energy drink,
Yeah.
and then you'd come out
Yeah.
and you would. I don't know. I don't know if I ever saw you smoking. I don't
Yeah.
think I ever saw you smoking.
Yeah. I would sometimes smoke my cigar before work at the call centers. I get there early, smoke my cigar, smoking on break. But I remember that because the Shell station was right next to.
Were you a smoker, or because your dad smoked, you smoked?
My dad kind of turned me on to it.
There you go.
Yeah, he gave me a cigar, and then I liked it, and then he said, and then I, got interested in it a little bit, and then he got excited. He was telling me all the types of cigars.
I was gonna say, what type of cigar? Usually, those people start smoking those little thin Tipolos or something.
No.
Or Swisher Sweets.
No, like real cigars.
My brother has the real cigars. He had my brother
Yeah.
got a box of Cuban cigars.
Yeah. My dad had like 4 or 5 boxes. But anyway, when I showed interest in it, he got excited because I guess we shared something in common. And, he was like telling me about all those different cigars, and then he bought me boxes, but they were obviously cheaper than his, because he's buying like $500 or $600 box in 4 boxes. So he would buy me, like the $200 boxes.
Nice.
Smoke the $200 boxes, and they're still good quality cigars, But yeah, he got excited because we shared something in common. But yeah, I remember the first time I smoked a cigar. The Heat won the national championship. We were smoking a cigar. I was like, hey, can I try a cigar? He's like, sure. And it was a Cuban cigar, and I kind of liked it okay. And then I was like, well, can I try another? But it wasn't anything at first. But yeah, I smoked for like 9 years.
Wow.
Which is kind of crazy because I never smoked as a kid. I don't think I started smoking until I was like 26.
Wow.
Yeah. My mom died of cancer because she smoked for like 45 years. She was like 58. She was smoking since she was like 6. I promised her I'd never smoke. For a year when I moved down there, I didn't.
Yeah.
And then I started smoking a year after I was in Florida, but I quit. So if there's an eternal life, and if she's watching over me, which I don't know, I think she's proud that I eventually quit. But I think she was happy that I started.
No, I get it, man. My dad's been smoking since he was whatever, a kid,
Yeah.
15, 16. Most people do.
How old's your dad?
79 now.
It's crazy. Like my mom was smoking since she was 16 and she died at 58. He's lucky, you know?
It affects everyone differently.
Yeah.
You know, our bodies are different, right?
Yeah.
My dad's been smoking all these years, and
Yeah.
knock on wood, you know, you can tell him.
That's not good for you.
Yeah,
You ain't
but
gonna listen though. My dad's like that too.
at this stage of the game,
Yeah.
I'm not going to try to beg someone who's 79 to,
Yeah.
you know, you can do what you want.
Right.
I tell people this. I go, how would you like to die?
I had some.
How would you like to die? Would you like to die in your sleep? Would you what? You know, right? This whole
Yeah.
self-help book is the subconscious mind. I mean, I have issues, right?
Yeah.
So I say to someone, and it happens all the time. I say to someone, I go, how would you like to die?
Yeah.
And everyone will say, oh God, I want to die in my sleep.
Right.
I just want to go to sleep and not wake up.
Right.
I want to do this, I want to do that. I go, well, the things that you're doing in your life, the drinking, the smoking,
Right.
I hope you don't die from that, because that's an agonizing death.
Right.
It's a prolonged, it's going to take your life over a series of a couple years,
Right.
and you're going to suffer.
Right.
So you're going to live your whole life, everything's great, and then the last 2 or 3 years of your life, you're going to suffer.
Right.
Is that what you really want? And they look at me and they're like, not really.
Right.
Not, but it's too late now. I'm like,
Right,
it's
of
never
course.
too late. It's never too late. I tell people, never too late. The body has a weird way of healing itself.
Right. So I was fortunate that I was able to quit at 33, or I think 33, because it's been 3 years, so I'm 36.
If you were a smoker for a
Yeah.
long time, you go get an X-ray and they'll say, oh, your lungs look like crap.
Yeah.
And then a year down the road, if you quit smoking altogether, a year down the road, you went to the doctor, they'd
Yeah.
go, hey man, your lungs look pretty good.
Yeah.
The body has a weird way of healing itself.
Right. Well, I don't know if I smoked a long time. A lot of people that smoke have been smoking like their whole lives. I smoked for like a 7-8 year period.
Me too.
Is that a long time? It's all relative. People are smoking since they're
Yeah.
a kid or whatever. It's just kind of one of those things that they pick up and they do it. You know, it wasn't me. It was a different circumstance for me.
Because of the profession I'm in,
Yeah.
I have access to tools.
Yeah.
Like, if I have a case or something that I'm not too familiar with,
Yeah.
I can go on these websites, which give me access to medical journals
Nice.
or medical stuff.
Right.
Yeah. So
Okay.
I belong to some association where you have access.
Nice.
So what I was getting at is, you know, I have, like, sometimes when you were talking about the length of how long smoking,
Yeah.
what's considered long, or
Right.
I never looked that up. Like, normally before I just speculate, I don't like to speculate. My
Right.
wife's a big fucking speculator.
Yeah.
I don't speculate. So I'll go into my medical stuff and I'll look it up and we did a study.
Yeah.
You know, people that's, you know, there's plenty of studies out there
Right, of course.
about smoking,
Right.
and I'll read up on it, because sometimes, you know,
I
again,
didn't know that you smoked.
oh yeah,
How long did you smoke for?
it's probably the same thing.
Like 7, 8 years?
Yeah, I was maybe older.
Yeah.
I worked at a golf course.
Yeah.
I never smoked. I worked
Yeah.
at a golf course, and the people I was around were smoking.
Yeah.
Then one day I went to play golf,
Yeah.
and some guy I was playing golf with was like, dude, you're too freaking nervous. You're like crazy. You're smoking. He gave me a Marlboro 100 light.
Well, it's a good thing he gave you a marble, not a joint, because when they say, dude, you're too nervous, they give you a joint. They say, hey, you're anxious. Hey, did you have some weed?
Yeah. Next thing you know, I was smoking. I started smoking.
Yeah.
I just, it's funny. This lady who worked with my wife, she suffers from anxiety and all this stuff.
Yeah.
Anxiety. She's very high strung.
Yeah.
And apparently she just started getting the medical marijuana.
Okay.
And she called my wife, and she was like, "Oh my God, I should have been doing this a long time ago.
Yeah.
I've, oh my God, look at this person in front of us. Like, where are you gonna go, dude?
Like pot's nice for like 30 minutes an hour, but if anything longer than that, I don't necessarily like it.
I have with it,
Yeah. I'm paranoid.
but I don't like anything that alters my mood.
Yeah.
That I don't have any control. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, let's
I
say
get it.
something gets me high, right?
Yeah.
Like after like about 5 minutes,
Yeah.
if I don't want to be high anymore,
Yeah.
I can't not.
You can't control not being high. I guess.
Right, you have to let it run its
Like
course.
if I'm drunk and I've had like 10 beers and I'm happy for like an hour, but I'm drunk for like 3 or 4, it's a weird feeling. Is that what you're saying? Essentially?
The opportunity to turn it off
Yeah, is not there.
is when you're sitting at the bar
Yeah.
and you've already had 2 and
Yeah.
you say no.
Right.
Once you've had too many, then you got to let it run its course, right? Because
Right.
you've
Right.
that's the only thing that
But there's cheats. You could drink water, I guess it helps, and there's different things. But
You dilute
essentially,
it.
you let it run its course.
you dilute it. You
No,
know
what
what?
I'm saying is,
You know what?
I'm not even saying diluted. If you just have like water in between, it helps like
You know what?
slow the process a little.
You know what? Getting drunk and then having a hangover. Do you know what that's caused from?
What?
When you drink, right?
Yeah.
When you drink and you get drunk,
Dehydration?
and then you have a severe hangover.
Yeah.
What's it caused from?
Is it
There's the question.
Is it dehydration? What is it?
Your body suffers. So when what makes alcohol is from what? Sugar?
Yeast, I think, right?
Sugar.
Oh, that's beer. Yeast is beer. Okay, sugar. Okay.
Whiskey and stuff is made from what? Like corn mash, right? Corn
Yeah.
mash, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Corn is one of the highest
The fructose
content.
and all that shit, right?
Right.
Yeah.
They make corn syrup. Right? It's one of the highest. That's why when you're diabetic, one of the first things they tell you to do is fucking stop eating corn.
Right.
So you can't have any corn.
Right.
So they take corn and they make liquor from it, right?
Okay.
So you're ingesting high quantities of sugar when you're drinking beer or any type of doing shots or anything.
Yeah.
Alcohol is made from sugar.
Okay.
When your body's withdrawing, it's because you've overdone the sugar, and now your body's craving the sugar that's leaving your body.
Yeah.
That's why you hear people say, "Man, I had a hangover."
Yeah.
You hear this all the time, right?
Yeah.
People say, "Oh, I got the greatest recipe for a hangover. You do a
Right.
Bloody Mary, and you do this." Yeah, what's in the Bloody Mary?
Sugar, right?
Some people put vodka,
Right.
right? The next morning they have a hangover. The first thing they do when they get up is have a beer
Right.
because your body's craving. So when you give yourself a little bit of sugar, makes you start feeling better.
You're drinking alcohol to come down from the alcohol. It's funny.
It's all because of the sugar,
Right.
the sugar content.
Reminds me of like 2.5 Men. I'm drinking a beer because I'm coming down from the liquor.
When someone's a diabetic, what do they tell you? They tell you can't have freaking alcohol anymore. You can't have mixed drinks. You can't have corn.
Jesus.
Yeah, it's everything that has to do with sugar.
Yeah.
And that's why when you have a listen, if you ever in your life ever have a
I've had it
hangover,
like 3 or 4 times. I've been very fortunate.
if you ever having a hangover, go have yourself some.
I remember my head
Drink a
hurt
beer.
like a son of a bitch when I was hungover. You know, it was like a migraine that lasted like for like 5 or 6 hours. You know.
They must have given a lot of people the day off today.
Yeah.
There's like no traffic compared to what we are used to, right?
Yeah. My dad's taking a day off. He says he's got no business, but he says he has like his assistant or whatever. She works like 8 hours a week, but then she's always asking for time off. I'm like, I don't get it. He says, I don't get it either.
She works 8 hours a week.
Well, 2 hours a day or whatever. You know? Whatever he works.
Well, she must not be dependent upon his salary or whatever he pays her, right? If you're only working 2 hours, I'm sure he's not paying her a full salary.
He is.
Is he?
Yeah. He's paying her like 700 a week or something.
Probably the problem is,
Personality.
I think some of that stuff you just gotta suck it up, right?
You get what I'm saying? Just a big old softie. But yeah, he's off today. He was telling me there was a lot of good TV on yesterday. He said there's not going to be as much good TV on today. He said that he was watching the Weather Channel for the weather stuff, and then he was watching the shit about the mayor, and then he was watching golf. But he's saying that there's not much TV today.
Slow news day.
Yeah. I'll still sit there and watch that shit for 12 hours.
But see, when it's a slow news day,
Yeah.
then the news organizations will manufacture something.
Yeah, of course.
Today is all about the hurricane.
Yeah,
And they'll be doing all this hurricane stuff.
of course.
Post-hurricane.
But I feel bad because it's hitting Georgia, and it's hitting. It hit. I think it hit Tipton earlier. And that's where I went to college. And then I think it's hitting Atlanta and Marietta, and then, it's a little close to home because that's where I used to live. That's where I grew up.
I saw that it's going to go up. I think it's 60-mile-an-hour winds. They're going to have, it's a lot of, those areas aren't used to getting that stuff, right?
I remember you used to take me to the gas station, but I like.
And my godson has ADHD,
Yeah.
and because he couldn't attention deficit disorder.
Yeah.
You
I
said-
think the original thing is attention deficit hyperactive disorder, but I ain't hyper, so.
They used to make him. They used to have him drink a lot of caffeine.
Really?
Yeah, they always recommended him in the morning have
Yeah.
Coke, have this, have that, because it
It
seemed
makes
like
sense because it evens them out. It has like
It
the
evens them
opposite
out or
effect.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
because he didn't like the medication.
Yeah.
The medication used to make him feel bad,
Weird, yeah.
so he never would take
There
his
were-
medication. So the
I would
doctor
take
said,
medication, but I was on different medication. I remember I was on Adderall, and I had my mom said I had weird tics. I would move my mouth or something and different things, and it was okay.
Listen, just like when people take drugs or smoke weed or something, something that makes your body do weird stuff, and you
Yeah.
can't. Right, because
It's
Adderall's the
something
same way.
different.
Adderall's
Yeah.
a mood-enhancing thing,
Yeah.
so it's gonna make you do.
Yeah.
I say that all the time. It's like when
But they put me on something different.
they give you the side effects, right? It's like 2 paragraphs of side effects.
I remember in
It
high
could
school.
make you do this.
Right.
They gotta cover their ass. They put 100
Yeah.
things down.
CYA. Right, John?
Put down everything.
That's right. But they always do they always, they're smart about it though, because even though they have a half hour of the side effects, they always do it with a lighthearted music, and the people are going to a farmer's market, or they're going to the ice cream store, and then it says it may cause death.
May cause death.
They're not paying attention.
That's the ultimate side effect.
Right.
Right? That's the ultimate.
Right. But it's the ultimate stimulant, because they're not thinking about the disorders. They're watching the family getting some ice cream, and they hear the old rock song, and they're all happy.
Yeah.
I
I
love
did.
you, buddy. I'll cash up you later.
Have a good day, man.
You too, buddy.
And there you go. MODC 39, you still here? Roger. MODC 39 official. Are you still here? Are you hanging out? Are you not at school today? Oh! Ugh. Man. Speed bumps, man. Persons service code. So I drove all the way east. Now I gotta go back west. Oh, you're on the bus. What time does school start? 8:55. That's a good time. Giovanni leaves the house at 6 o'clock in the morning to get to school. He didn't go today. His mom overslept. Aunt Laura overslept. So then I drove east to drop my buddy off at work to do my. Now I got to go back west. I got to go to a couple of the facilities that I'm at, that I work at, and the doctor was there yesterday, and I gotta see what paperwork he signed, didn't sign. So if I don't collect it, then we got a problem. $9.25, nice. My high school started at $9.25. I think I got out at like 3:30, 4 o'clock in the afternoon or something like that. But I got news for you. I'd rather go to school at 9 o'clock, 9:30 in the morning than 7 o'clock in the freaking morning. That's one of the craziest things. I know they've been doing it forever, but to tell kids to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning, tell a 14-year-old to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning so you can catch a bus to be at a school that starts at 7:30. It's dumb. It's such a strain on families. You know, because most people, I'm not saying everyone, but usually an adult, depending on what line of work you're in, you start work around 8 o'clock. You might start at 7, you might start at 9, but the average, let's just say 8 o'clock, right? 8, 9 o'clock. And you get off normally at 5. You get 4:30, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock. And what they do is before you get off of work, I'm a therapist. I'm an occupational therapist. Look that up. I'm an occupational therapist. When you get a chance, check it out. That's what Uncle Daniel and Uncle Fernando do. They're occupational therapists. That was easier on the parents, right? Because then they threaten you. When school gets out at, like, let's say 2:30, you got to pick the kid up and have him off of campus, unless you want to spend $200 a week. Unless you want to spend $200 a week to keep him in aftercare or whatever it is. Sometimes they do it on campus. It's a little bit it's cheaper. Maybe it's a couple $100 a month. But that puts a toll. Yeah, and then some kid, you get out of school at 2:30, 3 o'clock, and you're unsupervised. Yeah, walk home. You got the key. Just try not to tear the place. That's just my opinion. They should run school like they do a business. 9 to 5. The parents can drop them off a half hour before they go to work. and then the kids get home and the parents home. Teach them. Teach them how it is. You go to work. You go to school. Just like a job, right? There you go. You start at 9, you end at 5, you get a 30-minute lunch break, you get two 15-minute breaks. Run it just like it's a job. But they've changed the curriculum for these kids over the years, and I think for the worse. They don't, they put an emphasis on math, they put an emphasis on English, history, health. It's a bunch of BS. They should have vocational training in high school. Don't wait till they graduate. If you have kids, there's kids now, they have no interest in higher education. They have an interest in their dad's an AC guy, their dad's a plumber, their dad is this, their dad's that, the mom is this, the mom is that, their uncle. You know what? Let them start in high school. They have dual enrollment, right? They have dual enrollment where a kid graduates high school. They got a bunch of high school, they have a bunch of college credits, right? So why don't they have dual enrollment with vocational school? Maybe they want to be a plumber, an AC man, a mechanic, a car. Is it immoral? Is it immoral? Maybe they want to be a nurse, right? Let them start taking nursing classes, as an elective. Maybe you want to be a doctor. An attorney. Start it while you're in high school. A lot of kids don't like higher education because it takes so long, right? Some of these kids they're in school until they're 25, 26 years old. Like if you want to be a doctor, right? If you want to be a doctor, you get out of high school, you go to college for 4 years, then you got to go to medical school, that's another 2 years. Then if you want to be a surgeon, that's another 2 years. Then you got to work under the tutelage of a doctor for a couple of years, right? Next thing you know, you're not a full-fledged doctor. You know, when I say full-fledged, where they cut you loose. They cut you loose and you can do your own practice. You don't have to be watched over. You're like almost 30 years old. My niece just became a veterinarian. She's like 26. You know, some people don't have that mentality, right? If anyone's listening, hit that like button. I'm driving all the way down here, back this way again, just because I got to go to my facilities. See if the doctor signed off on anything. I'm going to go to this one facility first, and I had a bunch of paperwork there one time, and after the doctor visited, it all disappeared. What does MODC 39 stand for? Looks like we're gonna get some rain here, huh? The weather didn't look too bad. Now all of a sudden we're getting this little cloud cover. Oh, great. I hate getting stuck in between the lights. Right? I'm doing 40. I don't think I can stop. It's so funny how the weather or the clouds appear on the phone and how it looks like in person. It's two different things. Like I'm looking at the screen and it shows like on the left upper part it's all blue right there, right? Looks like blue. Like it's partly cloudy, but if you look at it and like I'm looking at it in front of me, it's all gray. It's like not all the clouds show up. It's kind of weird. You know, like you see this, I'm looking forward and it looks like it's white clouds on the bottom, just above the trucks. It's all white clouds. There's no white clouds there. It's like a light, like it's rain, but it shows up as white. That's kind of weird. The line. That's insane. We got this store called Hot Bins, and Hot Bins is they buy pallets, like Amazon pallets, I heard, and the people are lined up. I've never seen that before. They're just lined up around the building to get in there. They must have good stuff. They're going to start fighting themselves over the hot bins. People ask me why I live stream all the time, and it's basically an outlet. I don't get paid. No one's paying me. People, you get. I'm totally going the wrong way. I almost went to my other facility. I got to go to this place first. But, dang. I would have made a right-hand turn here. Anyway. Yeah, talking is a great therapy. You know, I have patience. I have a lot of patience. And they're elderly. Their family's not around, and they have no one to talk to. You know, I mean, they have friends at these places, at the assisted living facilities that they have other residents, but a lot of my patients, all they want to do is talk. They want to talk. They want to have a nice conversation. They want to talk about stuff. See what's going on with the news. I got to be careful because last time I played the radio, something got picked up and they hit me with a copyright strike. I was listening to some sporting event and they got me for rebroadcasting. I wasn't even paying attention. So I got to drive around with almost everything like silent in the car, so I don't get hammered with a copyright strike. Yes, Carolina. Carolina. I mean, they're great professions, right? Being a doctor, being an attorney, veterinarians. My niece is a veterinarian. She traveled the world. She did internships in Africa. She did internships in South America because she wants to be a wildlife vet, right? This guy. No school zone for you, huh? It's all right. You don't care about the school zone, do you? No. I wasn't paying attention, man. I'm on my phone. It's like, what's that blinking yellow light mean? Pretty windy. See these palm trees blowing pretty hard. Hopefully, my doctor visited. I'm pretty sure he was here yesterday. Hopefully, the paperwork is still there. All right, listen, I got to step out of the car. I'm going to leave the phone going. But I got to go inside and see if there's any paperwork there for me to collect. I'll be back. All right, have a good day at school. Cop just pulled you over because you're in the school zone. Okay, you're in your school. Have a good day at school. Okay, now I gotta go over here. I'm gonna duck into Walgreens, get some batteries, because some of the equipment, I have a piece of equipment at work, and the LED screen is, I'm gonna duck in here and get some AA batteries. It's funny that I gotta All right, peeps, I'll be back. I gotta go back in. I gotta go in and get some batteries. All right, I'm back then. I had to go and again, freaking batteries. Go get batteries. If the Walgreens is technically in a school zone, is the parking lot 15 miles an hour? Or can I go like this? And now I just hit 20. I just hit 20 miles an hour. Am I speeding? Am I actually speeding in the school zone? Okay, so I got batteries. I gotta go all the way down to the beach today. Well, almost practically to the beach. I have to go see a patient. Oh, look at this car. No school zone for you, huh, buddy? You don't care about that school zone till you give you a freaking ticket that's double. That's what happens. See that sign right there? Speeding fines doubled. You'll be hating life. You're gonna be hating life.